Hey guys, I know I haven't done a vlog in a while. I'm just gonna go on a rambling spree about my disability and how my daughter saved my life. Or saved me from a nasty situation. Back in 2022, my ex-husband, who happens to be my daughter's biological father, he had started physically abusing me while being on drugs, and after I had discovered that he was cheating on me. Did that for 2.5 years, and on November 25th, 2022, I had broke off the marriage because he couldn't make up his mind if he wanted me or the other woman. He ended up choosing the other woman, which was completely fine. And in 2022 is when I broke off the marriage, because he wasn't choosing me, and I knew damn well he wasn't. He wanted to be with a fellow addict, and that's what he got. Well, we had tried to make an agreement of him having visitation rights. I would have one weekend, he'd have every other, which was fine. 4 times a month, or about, he'd have her every other weekend and one Wednesday during the day of every month. I was fine with that. The first weekend he went to go have her, she ended up having a play date with a friend of mine and her daughter. So I had asked him if I could swap weekends. He said no. I did it anyway. He didn't have a stable place to go. And I said, if you want to spend time with her, come here, do the visit. He's like, no, well, I planned something else. I'm like, okay, no problem. I was like, you can come by tomorrow and see her, and she should be all set to spend time with you, because her friend and my friend should be gone by then. And he was like, are you sure about that? And I'm thinking to myself, dude, knock it off. I was like, I'll let you know. We'll go from there. About 2 days passed by. Hadn't heard from him that he was coming to get her for the day. And I had said, are you coming to get her? Or are you coming to spend time with her? I'll be there shortly. I'm like, okay, no problem. So I'm like, okay. Within 5 to 10 minutes, he was supposed to be where we were living at the time. I was like, you coming yet? And he goes, I'll be there in like 5 minutes. I'm like, alright, no problem. 5 minutes come and go. Still not at the house. So I told my ex, I says, come by tomorrow, she'll be ready to see you. I'm not going to push it tonight. She's tired, she had a rough day, she played. And now she's in bed, she's sleeping. He goes, well, what the? I'm like, dude, don't even. So, time passed, about a week went by. I texted him, I says, where are you coming to see her? No, I've got something else planned. I was like, well, it's your day with her. So don't go around telling people that I'm not letting you spend time with her, because I am. And he goes, I won't, I promise, I'll behave. 2 days go by after I sent that. Still hadn't heard. And I'm like, okay, this is not getting to be good. You're not giving a shit, so why should I? You're not giving a shit, so why should I? And he goes, no, I agree. So I had texted him a long book. I said, this is not what I want, but this is obviously what you want. I'm not going to fight for our marriage anymore. I'm not going to do anything. So I turned around and I said, and he went, okay, thanks. Because all I said at the end is, we have to co-parent. That was it. That was all I asked him to do. So I said to him, you don't want to co-parent? Then the next man that I meet, the little one's going to call him daddy. And I'm not going to stop him, but you're going to be pissed. He goes, you'll stop her. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, cold day in hell. So then he goes, so you're not going to stop her? I said, why should I? And the next thing I know, I was laying in the chair one night, sleeping. My ex took my phone and went through it and wondered who certain names were. And I'm like, hon, they're friends from school that I haven't talked to in years. He goes, call one of them and tell him you want to fuck and see how quickly it's not a friend. And I knew Paul wouldn't go along with it. A friend of mine named Paul. And I was like, hey dude, what are you doing? He goes, why, what'd you have in mind? I was like, wanna come over and just chill and watch a movie or something? He goes, yeah, I'll come watch a movie. He fell for it. My ex goes, you're gonna watch a movie? I'm like, I'm proving you wrong that nothing happens. And he goes, okay, prove me wrong. So, sure as shit, my friend Paul came over. We literally just sat there and watched the movie and kept an eye on the baby while she slept. And I explained it to my ex. I said, this is Paul. He's a friend of mine. He's here to watch a movie. He goes, Paul goes, if you're thinking I'm taking your place in her, the little one's life, you're nuts. I already have 2 kids of my own. I've known Susie since she was like 20. I've known her for 8 years. Or 10 years already or something like that. And he goes, so you're really not taking my... He goes, no, that's your kid, dude. Like, chill your roll. And then he was like, okay. So, with the cerebral palsy, yes, I'm going to jump topics. The cerebral palsy I've had since I was 9 months old, but I was recently diagnosed with it. Little did I know that the baby was going to make me stronger. My daughter saved me without even trying to save me in a domestic violence situation. So, she made my back straighter, and wasn't a complicated pregnancy at all. Nothing at all. Minus her getting stuck between my hip and my rib cage on the right side. So I turned around and I kept up my walking, but after I had her, I was too scared to walk with her or around her because I didn't want to fall on her. So I turned around to him and I said, do you think you can hold the baby while I walk? Do you think you can hold the baby while I walk? He was like, yeah, because I'm holding on to you anyway. I had gained up all my strength back from having her to be able to walk one arm being held. And then after we got into this situation, I lost my ability. I just started walking again about 1.5 to 2 months ago. So then I turned around and started walking. Now we just need to find a place so I can get her back and resume our lives with her again. But cerebral palsy is a muscular and neurological disability. But it does not define who I am and what I can do. I raise her perfectly fine. My significant other, he goes to work, does his own thing. When we have a vehicle and we're not stranded like we are now. But I watch her by myself. I am a stay-at-home mom. I do my art projects and I have my state income. Not proud of that, but that's why I do my side business. So, if anybody has any diamond paintings they want to just give away, I'll take them. I'm not kidding. I will take them off your hands. So, enjoy this. Like I said, it's just a bunch of rambling, but I hope you get the point. See you guys on the next one.